Welcome back to Cryptos Are Us. I'm George. We're all George. So, tonight let's talk about games. Something I don't talk a lot about. 3 crypto games you don't want to miss. And all 3 belong on the Avalanche chain, the Avalanche ecosystem. In fact, they're sub-chain. So, let's talk about these games. And let's talk about why they're so special. Let's do this. Welcome. Got a new member right off the bat, Chris Larson. Everyone loves Chris Larson. Everyone loves to meet Chris Larson. Tonight, looking a little bit better. The entire market is in the green. Bitcoin is up to almost 38,000 once again. You got Ethereum moving. You got Solana moving. You got Doge moving. You got a whole lot of movement. Now, before I get into the 3 top games, I just want to mention a couple things. Michael Saylor this morning bought a ton more Bitcoin. So in case you missed it, the biggest Bitcoin bull on the planet bought another $600 million of the Bitcoin. In case you missed it, it's not a surprise, but I just want to say that right off the bat. In case you were doubting if DCA actually works, ask this man right here who holds $5.3 billion worth of Bitcoin, okay? Ask him if it works because he's made like $1 billion already. So yes, DCA works. Just want to say that right off the bat. Something else that's quite interesting, I don't know if you care, but Elon Musk, he had his big Cybertruck delivery in Austin today. And just in case you're wondering, okay, now the Cyber Beast is now at $99,000, and you can't get it until mid of 2024. And I'm wondering if Tesla is going to honor the prices before when everyone put in all those pre-orders, right? I don't know, but this was big news this afternoon. Everyone's talking about it. The Cybertruck, yes, it's finally going to be delivered. But the range is coming lower than expected, the price is coming higher than expected, and the delivery time is coming in longer than expected. So far, not off to a good start. All right, so just want to get those things out of the way. Now let's get to the main thing. Main topic at hand, Avalanche and the top 3 games. Avalanche, you guys know, I've been talking about a lot of Avalanche a long time. They are definitely one of the bigger caps out there at $8 billion in market cap. You can see today they're up 3%, but the last month they've been trending upwards. Last year, yes, also trending upwards, but they are still far off from their previous high of nearly $140. That's a lot. That's a 7x. So just Avalanche alone can net you a 7x just to get back to previous high, right? In 2024, 2025, when everything blows up, I am confident that Avalanche will get up to its previous high and break even above that. So you're talking about 7x plus. But that's just the underlying layer. That's the base layer. And Avalanche these days, they're not even an L1 anymore. They have moved to L0 status because they introduced subchains, which basically is a chain within Avalanche. It utilizes the governance and the token structure and everything, the framework, the development code, I mean, everything, right? Like could be shared and it's one big ecosystem. And so it's kind of like a competitor to Cosmos now. So they're no longer L1. They're really like a L2. And of course, they now cater to not only retail investors, but also institutional investors. So real quick, just want to talk about, they did launch something called Evergreen, which is exactly that. It's a subchain for institutional investors. So that's pretty big because you already have the likes of JP Morgan that's already utilizing an Avalanche subnet to test portfolio management. So you already have some big players coming in aboard, creating a subchain, a subnet on top of Avalanche. So you already got the big boys. But Avalanche was created not for the big boys, but for retail investors. So there are a lot of very promising games now that are coming up, and these are the ones that you don't want to miss. One that recently came out and a lot of people have been talking about already, is this, Shrapnel. One point I've been making for a long time is this. There aren't a lot of really, really nice looking games. They call them AAA games. AAA games, okay? Meaning that they are like the best of the best. Like the first-person shooters that we're already accustomed to on the desktop, or RPGs, or MMORPGs, or anything else, car racing, simulators. There's a lot of AAA games out there in the Web 2 space, but not in the Web 3 space. But it's about time things are going to change. Just look at what Shrapnel actually looks like, what it feels like. Just look at this. This actually looks and plays and feels like a AAA game. And up until this point, we really didn't have anything close to this in the Web 3 space. And why is this important? Because finally, if we get a really good AAA game like this, we could actually get in millions upon millions of gamers. And that is something that we don't have right now. We don't have millions and millions of gamers. We don't have millions of users at all. But that's what games can do, can bring in all these users, and they could be super, super successful. Because now, when you introduce Web3 elements like ownership, that's a big deal. You get to own the weapons and the skins and the characters and trophies. There's so much that you can do with Web3, with ownership, that you can't do with Web 2, right? And of course, you can introduce other mechanisms like marketplaces where you can actually sell what you own and what other people own, right? And there's actually true value there. You're not just talking about simulated currency. You're talking about real currency, real tokens that have real value. And of course, NFTs that have real value, right? So it's, you know, the whole thing is going to be different. But the first thing is we need to have this kind of game come along, right? And Shrapnel is about to come. I mean, they already released their token, still relatively small at 47 million. Okay, that's actually really, really small. The token economics isn't the greatest because it's only 8%. 8%, sorry, I can't talk. 8% of the total have been released, but I'm assuming that they're holding a lot back for their NFTs and other things that they may be looking to release. But right now, relatively low market cap due to the number of tokens circulating. But here's the most important thing. I think with Web3 games that's coming out right now, especially like Shrapnel, the AAA games, what separates them is the team versus the Web 2 guys, or let's say Web 2 looking games in Web 3, right? Because the Web 3 games like Shrapnel, they're built up of really seasoned veteran guys that have done a lot. So Shrapnel is a really good example. I'm not that familiar with the team, but I did look through it beforehand. And if you look through, all these guys have worked on some very, very big games or studios or important jobs, let's just say. This guy has worked in Star Wars, Indiana Jones, BioShock, Sunset Overdrive, Crackdown, and Madden, and NASCAR. I mean, he's been involved with games for over 16 years. And then you look at this guy right here, same thing. He was working at Microsoft, former head of xCloud. Also, he worked in HBO, and he's a 26-year veteran within the gaming space. I mean, like every single person that's on the team has so much so much experience, right? So I think that's what also really separates Shrapnel is the fact that they have a killer team. Now the game is not out yet, but it will be out soon, right? So right now you're seeing a lot of like gameplay, but the game is not out yet. But once it comes out, and if it's as good as it looks, and it could actually be, I don't know, if it could actually be like really, really, really fun and actually draws in millions and millions of players, it's going to change the game. It's going to change everything. I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. Games that could really draw in millions of people into the space, right? So the first one is Shrapnel. Looks very good. Second one is actually more like a DAO, okay? Mirror Circle. Mirror Circle also has a subnet within Avalanche. Now, Mirror Circle is just, it's a DAO. They raised a whole bunch of money, and then they created another subnet called Beam, which is an entire chain for games. Now, Mirror Circle, in case you didn't know, they raised $100 million back in 2021. Okay, so obviously they have a huge, huge treasury. Huge treasury. So they are using that treasury. A lot of people have been asking me about Beam, right? But Beam is created by Mirror Circle, and they have partnerships already. But if you look at, they also have a ton of games that they're developing right now, right? Not AAA games, but it does look like a lot of fun games that people would enjoy, right? But because of large treasury, they could get in some really nice games as well. Who knows? I mean, there could be AAA games. Maybe some of these are AAA games. I just don't know. Big time. This one actually looks pretty fantastic. So Beam is another one, okay? And I am actually hooked up to the co-founder. We talked a little bit, but I do know that they're very in tune with the Avalanche ecosystem. They're making a lot of partnerships. And also something else that's quite interesting that's not a game is a project that I'm associated with, Amino Rewards, Amino Move, the app, the Move to Earn app, that's wildly popular right now. They're also on Beam, even though they're not a game, but they were pulled onto Beam. They were incentivized to go there. But yeah, I do know they have a large treasury. They're trying to onboard a lot of good games, so they could have good potential going forward. But they're relatively big already. They're already at 400 million, but you know what? 400 million in the crypto space really isn't that big. It could get a lot bigger, right? All right. Now the last game I want to talk about. This one is, I've been on and off with these guys, but I am back on, and here's the reason why. DeFi Kingdoms, okay? So this game was very, very popular, but the thing is, they weren't really a game at all before. They were a DeFi play, complete DeFi play. They were the hugest DeFi play on Harmony. A lot of you guys asking about Harmony, right? They got hacked. DeFi Kingdoms kind of got screwed, right? So they left. They went to Clayton, but also luckily they came out with their own chain, the DFK chain, on Avalanche already. So they have multiple kingdoms. But again, going back to 2021, the only reason why people use DeFi Kingdoms was purely for DeFi, and me too. You can stake in their gardens, basically liquidity pools, and earn a tremendous amount of yield, right? But it was never a game, and I never understood why it wasn't a game, although they made it look like a game. But that finally has changed after talking with the team, Dreamer and Bolan and everyone else, right? They finally get it. They're doing a game. So that's what it is exactly. If I would to say, this is more like, a Web3 version of almost like World of Warcraft. It's kind of moving in that direction. You have different characters to choose from with different skill levels, different combat skills, And you could actually battle. You could do PvP or PvE, which is more like a game. Like you actually battle, like, you know, these enemies, right? And you have different skills, and all the weapons and armor and everything else are all NFTs. So there a lot of Web3 elements, but actually it's turned into a game, and there's quests, and soon there's going to be expedition where you could actually move around the map and actually encounter monsters that you can actually hunt. Like they started with boars and they're going to move to chickens or whatever. And they're going to introduce different classes too. So it's more like a Web3 version of World of Warcraft. Okay. And they have fixed some things that I've been telling them about, like the complexities of logging in, for example, removed. You don't even need a wallet to log in. And you could just go straight, if you wanted to play the game, you could go straight into combat testing, and then you could just start playing. You don't even need to connect your wallet. You don't even need anything. You could just play their demo and get started right away, because again, this is all about making it fun, easy, getting people involved, right? And getting them to actually enjoy the game and stay. So I gave them a lot of advice over the last few months and over the years, and I'm glad they started listening. So here, this is what it is. This is live, right? You want to attack this guy? Hey, go ahead and attack him, and then he's going to attack, and then you got other, you got 3 guys basically taking turns, right? So, and you just keep on going. This is a demo. Obviously, the real one actually rewards you if you win. You actually get things, right? But yeah, I'm just giving you guys a little taste of what PvE looks like. So that's the third one, DeFi Kingdoms. They've been out for a while. Like I said, it's been rocky for them, and I've been mixed on them. But finally, they're actually turning into a game. Actually, one that I think is quite enjoyable, and they're still building out on it. And this is on top of Avalanche. So, but they have multiple kingdoms, multiple chains. All right, so the 3 that I covered today. First one is Shrapnel. Can't wait for a AAA game to be released in the whole space. But they seem like they may be the very first to do so. And then you have Mirror Circle and their Beam chain, which has a ton of games already and still onboarding more games. Okay. Ooh, Shrapnel shows up. And you have DeFi Kingdoms, which is also, it's more of like an RPG game that is within the Avalanche ecosystem as well. So 3 games you don't want to miss. All right, that's it. That's it. I'm just talking games today. Just talking games. Bitcoin is coming up, 38,000. We've been hovering here for a while. You guys know. I've been talking about Bitcoin forever. Bitcoin is still leading the way, not losing strength and only getting stronger, right? And it's just a matter of time we break through this 38.4. And then we'll head to 39, and then we'll head to 40,000. That's right up here. Let's go extend that outwards. All right, let's do some Q&A. Retro Bill, very informative show, George. Loving the content. Appreciate it. I know that I've been talking about a lot of Bitcoin. And that's not going to change. I'm still going to talk a lot of Bitcoin. But I do think it's, I think a lot of you guys are craving for more learning about, you want to learn about games, or promising DeFi, promising chains, promising AI. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to start giving you more alpha on different kind of projects that exist and what has potential. Fire down below. Where can I buy the crypto for these games? Well, you have to go look. Most of these are available, but in case you don't know where, you go to, like, say, CMC, you pull up Shrapnel, you could go to markets. And then you could see like KuCoin or Uniswap or Trader Joe. It depends on if you want to use a SEX or a DEX. The SEX is like KuCoin, Bybit, BitGet, right? BingX, which I've been experimenting a lot with, and the link is in the description. A lot of these do have Shrapnel. If you look at Beam, they're all over. On Binance, PancakeSwap, Uniswap, and then you have a lot of SEXs also that has it, like Mexi and BingX. And DeFi Kingdoms. DeFi Kingdoms is hard though. DeFi Kingdoms Jewel, they have 3 tokens. Jewel token could only be bought right now within the game. So it does make it very difficult to get in. But hopefully they change that. Let's see. All right. Is there a way, Raul was asking, is there a way to know how many Bitcoins that are on exchanges that are owned by the exchanges themselves or are owned by customers of the exchanges? Yeah, a lot of the wallets from the exchanges are marked. They're marked like cold wallets for Binance. If you go to Bitcoin Rich List, it will tell you. But that doesn't mean that every single large wallet is held like, they're not marked. So you don't know if all the big ones are from exchanges or like institutions. You don't know. Some of them are marked though. There's a lot of like, a lot of people that are tracking these addresses and stuff and trying to put 2 and 2 together. It's not that easy. Will Aave in the bull recover in the bull run? Sure. Yes, Just Neil. A lot of people asking about Cornucopias, which is on top of Cardano. That may be another topic for me to look at. Games within Cardano. I don't know if there's more than Cornucopias, but that's one that a lot of people have asked me about. Thoughts on the news that BlackRock and JP Morgan purchased 7.5 million XRP. I didn't see that news. I don't know if that's real. That doesn't sound like it's real. Did you just make that up? I don't see why JP Morgan and BlackRock would be buying so much XRP. And if it did happen, I would figure XRP would be pumping a lot more based on that news. Hi, George. Is Grok a good buy and hold for a bull run or simply for leverage plays? Brianna, that's up in the air. I tried to play leverage with Grok, and it did well, and then it didn't because it started dropping. So with memes, you just don't know. Sometimes they go up like crazy, and then sometimes they drop down to where they started from. There are so many memes. It's too hard to know if memes could actually hold or not. So just be careful with them. I don't think any memes are long-term holds. I think the best course of action is to sell when you've made some money with them. But you know what? Some people have held and some people have made tremendous amounts of money, but still, you just don't know. You just don't know. Will Axie make a comeback? Well, it has to do like a 20x, 25x. I think it will. See, Axie is not a AAA game, but it's a game that people use or play to make money. And a lot of Southeast Asian countries do play Axie. So when Axie, the token was a lot higher, a lot more people played, and it drove it even higher, right? Right now, not a whole lot of people play because it's not that profitable. But I think if the bull market comes back and the token starts rising, then more people are going to come in. It's kind of like a revolving circle. Then it's going to drive it up more and get more people to play. So can it get back to its previous high? I guess so. But yeah, that's like a 20x from here. Shannon, I appreciate that. That's what I'm trying to do. Bring more content, more alpha. People have asked me about this. I might have to look at them. I don't know enough about them to talk right now. But I do know that the circuit supply is a little bit low. So that's a little concern. But yeah, they're a gaming marketplace. And apparently they're on Binance Smart Chain. Interesting. I will say this. This is kind of a knock on Binance Smart Chain. There's not a whole lot of dApps that explode on Binance Smart Chain. On Ethereum, of course. But on Binance Smart Chain, besides PancakeSwap, there's really no other large dApp that I could think of. Yeah, so. What are the chances of a short squeeze? I hope it's coming. Bitcoin is at 38,000. Just to check my leverage plays. I bought a little Illuvium recently. Not so good. But I did buy Matic recently. That Matic just made up for it. So that's good. ADA is still holding here. Solana just keeps getting stronger. 142, 143%. Bitcoin is plus 100%. These are looking good. ADA is quite... ADA is just not moving. ADA is not moving. Let's bring up the chart here. You could see it's just a whole bunch of sideways movement right here. It kind of peaked right here about 3 weeks ago, and it's been doing up and down, but overall it's been going sideways, and it's still lower than 3 weeks ago. So Cardano, kind of stagnant. Would have been better to buy Solana. You know what? I wonder what's Strapnel's strap. I don't even know if you could do strap. Yeah, not with leverage. You could buy on spot, but not the futures. I don't know. I guess I'll leave it for now. Hopefully a Cardano could pick up, but Cardano has been pretty stagnant recently. Let's see. Celestia having a really good day today. Man, Celestia is almost up $7 to $7. They look at that. They just pumped up out of nowhere. Yeah, they're quite strong. I had Celestia before. But they're promising. They're out of Cosmos. So a lot of DeFi stuff, or a lot of L1 stuff, I should say, not DeFi. A lot of L1 stuff come out of Cosmos. The biggest is Injective. I covered that this morning. Celestia I will have to cover in the future. But there's others like Kava, Osmosis, DXDY is on there, but you know, they're mostly more like geared DeFi stuff. WAGMI Games update. I just talked about WAGMI yesterday. When I was talking about Mutable X and Polygon, and I brought up WAGMI Games. So, yeah, I did bring them up yesterday. Do you have certain views on miners? Like Hut 8, not Hut 8, because they actually, like, they had some financial problems and then they merged with someone. Mara would probably be a better buy. But if you wanted crypto stocks, Coinbase is definitely the one. And MicroStrategy is another, but I like Coinbase the best. Oh, by the way, on right after this, I'm about to end Cryptos R Us Plus today. This guy right here, Crypto Grady, who's in the chat, he's gonna be debuting his street interviews, which is very exciting. So it will be coming out in 3 minutes. So make sure you guys go and check that out. Yeah, I think he's gonna do a whole series just street interviews, very entertaining, and he's a very lovable guy. So make sure you check it out. All right, guys, that's it. So tonight, Bitcoin is still holding strong. MicroStrategy is buying more Bitcoins. That didn't change. And I cover three promising games within Avalanche: Shrapnel, Beam, and DeFi Kingdoms. All right. And there'll be a lot more to come, guys, in the future. So smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow is Friday, finally. And I'll see you guys at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.